I'm ready to enjoy some of these other groups. Amen. How you doing? Can I tell y'all something? Heaven is a prepared place for prepared people. But hell is a prepared place for unprepared people. I read in my word where it says, choose ye this day, whom you should serve. I'm not going to tell somebody, I don't care how hard it gets, I'm going to serve Jesus. I don't care how rough it gets, I'm still going to serve Jesus. I'm reminded of a man named Job. Job had everything. He had the family, the children, he had the money, the land. The Bible says the Lord and the sons of God were having a conversation. Watch this. The devil came up, he said, what do you mean? He said, I've been coming to and fro, seeking who I may devour. The Bible said the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But the Lord comes that you what? That you may have life. And have it what? More abundantly. It ain't in his will for you to walk around here poor. It ain't in his will for you to be around here with all kind of sicknesses in your body, diabetes, cancer, lupus. But he desires that we be in what? Good health. He desires that we what? That we prosper even as what? Our soul shall prosper. I heard Lee Williams. He said, you can't run. You can't hide. Ain't no need to try. Yeah. 'Cause you don't know when or how it's come. Don't know when. Y'all help me, real sweet. Don't know when, or how it's come, or how it's come. Don't know when, or how it's come, or how it's come. You just can't get right. You just can't get right. One more time. You just can't get right. Whatever it is, you just can't get right. The Bible says that God is omnipresent. That means he's here, there, and everywhere when, all at the same time. So you can't run from him. But you can run to him. Oh, you're right. We got a song that says these words, real sweet fellas.
That's good.
I'm But if anybody asks you, what's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter? All you gotta do is tell the man that I'm saved. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost, I've been found. I got Jesus. Anybody like me? They got Jesus. I got Jesus on my side. On my side. Y'all make me feel real good. I can't stay here too long, but the race is not give up. So the spirit of the storm, but it's you the one that do it. Keep on. All you gotta do is hold on. Yeah. I need you to hold.
God. Hey y'all, it's your girl, Boss Lady. Listen, I really wanted to play that video all the way through. I honestly wanted to play that video all the way through because that is probably one of my favorite KC and Unity's video that's out there. They got a lot of good videos and content that's out there, but I have to say that is my personal favorite video. How my sissy poo redone from Florida. That is my sissy poo. That's our name for each other. But Mr. Burgess just did a Bible study that was so awesome, talking about the mouth, the tongue. And I was tuned in because, man, it was just a good word. When you hear a good word, man, you can't help but be drawn to it. So keep up the awesome work, Elder Pastor Burgess, because, man, that was such an awesome end time word. So, amen. I appreciate it. So don't ever think no one's listening, because I am listening if no one else is listening. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Man, look, I am so excited about tonight's show because this is this is probably for the first time I've ever done a show like this. Usually I always talk to musical artists or musicians, but this is the first time I'm going to talk to a radio angel that is very decorated in awards. And I'll be honest with you. Like, sometimes when I see Quartet Corner, I be like telling my people to vote. I be like, that's Robert Craig. Go ahead and vote anyway. Because he has a radio show by the name of Quartet Corner, and I tune in all the time just to check in with them. But I think this is going to be an awesome show because I actually get to sit down and talk about quartet stuff. Like, if anybody know me, hey, my little niece. Look, I try to talk to everybody. Hey, LaDonna, that's my little niece all the way in Ohio, and Elder Burgess, I hope I'm saying your name right. But yeah, I appreciate you. I really do, because you don't hear too much sound doctrine too often. So, but we're going to talk about that later, because I really want to bring Mr. Robert Craig from, is it Joy Radio or Joy Nation? Joy Network. Man, he'll say all of it because I had it in my mind. I've been saying it all day. And then when I get on the show, I get a brain fart. So y'all pray my strength of the Lord, because I be tripping sometimes. But anyway, man, listen, if you are in the music industry, you are inspiring to be in the music industry. If it's any type of course, you know someone that's possibly struggling in the music industry. Thank you so much, Mike Purtle. Thank you for sharing. If you know anyone that's in the music industry and you see them struggling, or you want to have some good advice, or let them know that, hey, we are on and we're answering all of your good questions concerning the radio. Because Mr. Craig, I would have to say, like, I sit back and watch, and I listen and I study. Listen, one thing, people think that, oh, I have arrived. I really do not believe I have arrived. There's so many people like Robert Craig and all other radio angels that's across the country. I literally sit back and I watch and see them do their art and craft. And I'm telling you, they have blessed me even in my ministry. Even watching Pastor Burgess, I watch him on sometimes on Sunday morning. And I'm telling you, y'all will be surprised when you think that it's just one or two people, but man, you never know who's really sitting back watching. Like, seriously. So I encourage everyone that has a ministry, everyone that goes live, and you think that it's just, again, you're doing it for no reason. I promise you, somebody is sitting back and they really are admiring you from afar off, and they really are studying you. So, man, whenever you put your foot out, make sure it's the best foot or the best stiletto. God bless you. But anyway, but I'm about to bring up Mr. Robert Craig, man, and I'm telling you, I really hope you guys put some questions up. And another thing, I've been using StreamYard. I'm going to use something different between besides StreamYard, because StreamYard is, I'm not liking it. Pay too much money for it per month, and it just still be wickety whack. But anyway, we're gonna figure that out this week, because I think I'm going to completely learn how to use OBS, because this is foolishness. Paying all this money and my screen look like this, but it is what it is. All right, Craig, you ready? You ready, Craig?
I am.
Come on, Craig. Hey, I can barely hear you unless it's me. Hold on. I can hear you say something.
Hello.
You sound like you underwater, or is it me, y'all?
Can you hear me? See, I got it maxed out, I believe, here.
Okay, I guess I'm just going to listen real hard, because I can't hardly hear you too well.
Can you all hear me too well?
No, it just sounds like you're in a glass bottle or something.
My.
It's something. Hey, you guys that's on here listening while he's fixing this microphone, do me a favor and share this live. Let everyone know that the Radio Angel from, is it Joy Radio?
JoyNetRadio.com.
JoyNet Radio. I knew it was something. JoyNetRadio.com is on, and I think that he'll be able to answer all of you guys' industry or radio questions, because today people really want to say traditional radio is out of, what can I say? What's the word I want to use? It's like outdated, because people are streaming. But we're going to get into that conversation, because I think that's a good conversation to talk about, because this is what you do, right? All right, Mr. Craig. Hey, live from Chicago, the radio owner of 106.9. Thank you so much for tuning in. But anyway, all right, you guys got a question, make sure you guys tune in and type your questions in. Mr. Craig. It is such an honor for you to be on the Quartet Corner, the podcast version. Because you do have a Quartet Corner on your internet radio station. I want to know, how did you first get started in radio, and how long have you been doing it?
First got started. Oh, first of all, let me say thank you to you, to your audience for this opportunity. Not only do you follow me, I follow you as well. And I want to say for the hard work that you do, and for this opportunity to be on your podcast. How I got first started, 1983. 1983, at a non-commercial radio station here in the city of Little Rock, station KABF 88.3, and didn't know nothing about a microphone other than how to turn it on. But I've come up through the ranks. This is my 40th year in gospel radio, and love it. As my theme says, I'm just doing what I love and loving what I'm doing. You know,
Yeah. And you know, one thing I have learned about doing what you love is not considered work.
true.
It to me, it's not. It's not like I can get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and probably work till it's time for me to go to my secular job, and it doesn't bother me. You know, I could sit up and do flyers or try to figure some certain things out. It doesn't bother me because when your heart is in it, it just don't seem like work anymore. It's just something that you love to do. So I truly understand what you're saying. So did you ever think that you was going to be doing this long? Because 83 is a long time. I'm not even going to tell you what year I was born.
you
I'm
make
not going to do that to you.
you make me feel old now.
Well, I was born in 79. I should have did that, should I? But no, seriously, you've been doing it a long time.
I have been, it's a ministry for me.
Right.
It's really uh, about the compensation or the incentive. It's a ministry for me. Obviously, I'm a deacon at my church, so playing God's music for God's people is something I enjoy. And I want to say again, thank you and good evening to all of your listeners everywhere across the world. And congratulations to you on the awards that you got. Now, again, I've been checking you out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. You know, and I just feel like it's just an honor, even if I don't win, it's just an honor that people even think of me. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like just to think of me, it means a lot to me. Like to see my name, I be like, what you really thought about me? You know, I'm real goofy, so I be excited, man. I really be excited, and everybody be like, okay, whatever. But to me, just have been, let me see, I've been doing about a year and a half, and I promise you, I love it. I love what I do. You know,
You great job.
yeah, thank you so much. But I really am going to have to switch from the StreamYard thing. I'm not liking this. I pay too much money a month for this. I don't like it.
I got you. I got you.
Pray my strength in the Lord because I don't like it. But anyway, but over the years, because you've been doing this, oh, let's say 40 years. It's been 40 years
Yes,
that
ma'am.
you've been doing radio.
Yes, ma'am.
So 40 years. Can you tell me one of the most exciting interview that you have ever had?
Actually, most recently, I think it was like last year, I interviewed one of my, matter of fact, my favorite quartet singer, Harvey
Okay.
Watkins, the Kansas.
What you say?
Yeah, yeah. And that
Was he in the studio?
matter of fact, I interviewed him, and I interviewed Williams brothers, Melvin and Doug Williams, and Dre Tate. That was the highlight of my career.
You know what? Yeah, because I interviewed the Williams brothers, and like seriously, I was trying not to act like a fan. Have you ever got that where you talk to people and like you grew up or you listen to their music, especially at a downtime in your life, and that music ministered to you, and you finally get to meet them, and it's like try not to be starstruck. Yeah, I mean sometimes I get like that. Like I did that with AG 13. I did that with, of course, the Williams brothers. I almost did it with Keith Wonderboy until I started talking to Keith Wonderboy almost every day, other day. So it was like, whatever, Keith. But like, have you ever felt starstruck whenever you talk to anyone that you've interviewed before?
No, to be honest, I haven't. I mean, because again, I mean,
Okay.
the majority of these artists that I play, I've actually met them. So no, I'm not per se starstruck by it. But I do host two programs. My course program during the week is Drive Time Live. All of these are encompasses the joinnetradio.com, our network. And of course, our television is time to consider.org. But I have to shout out to my boss, Pastor J.C. Love, Pastor Clarence Thornton, and also our TV director, Pastor Melvin Moss. They do a great job, and so I'm just a little vessel that's following them and just trying to create my own niche in this thing called radio. And of course, on Saturdays as you know, my show comes on Quartet Corner at 1 p.m. Central Time here in this market.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, I love the music that you play. So, and I guess, and we're going to talk about the Boss Awards, but I really, really, really want to get into this conversation of the do's and don'ts of submitting music. I want to get into just all around, like, people need to understand how radio works, because I think people think that because they just give you music, you can just pop it in. Like, there is a process
Right.
before people can really just get their music, put on. So can you tell us, can you kind of walk us through what is the process of when someone give you the Radio One card? And we're going to talk about the Radio One card a little bit later. But after people give you the Radio One card, what is the process after that?
Well, to be honest with you, from non-commercial to commercial to even where I am now with internet radio, the my personal opinion of the process would be, first of all, they need to pray. Everything that they do, it needs to be prayerful. It needs to be lined up with Christ, and make sure that Christ is the center of the music, center of them, and making sure that everything, all the lyrics, is surrounded by Christ. Um, and obviously, to latch on to any radio announcer that's playing their music or can think about playing their music. I got jotted down some things that I think will be real beneficial to any artist this day and time. I'm creating a electronic press release or press kit before you approach any announcer. Make sure that your music is radio quality, radio ready. Make sure it doesn't sound like you just made it in your backyard yesterday, or sound like it's made it in your car somewhere. But writing a music press release would be good, obviously. But my personal opinion, though, boss lady, would be making sure that you actually know the announcer that you're interacting with, and get a good grasp on him or her. Make sure that they're fond of you, you're fond of them, and just make it like a conversation, like what we're having here, just a conversation piece.
Oh wow. So in saying all that, when you guys receive a Radio One card, and we're going to talk about what's included on the Radio One card. But once you guys receive that, do it have to go through a program manager first, or is it up to you what get played over the air?
Well, at my station, it's left up to me. I mean,
Okay.
if I find quality, I go. If I if I if I feel like that, my audience is going to feel it as well.
Okay.
Now, live variety of music, including sets and traditional, contemporary, soloists, indie artists. On the weekends, I strictly play quartet music. That's why it's driven Quartet Corner. Now, on your non-commercial stations, the information or the material that's given to the station, you're probably going to get it played. Now, on commercial, depend upon the music director, depends upon the program director. They're going to streamline that to make sure that it's ready for air, because obviously they have um, recording artists listening, they have music companies listening, so they want to make sure that, and it's all they want to make sure everything's about business. Let me say it like that.
Got you. So, in saying that we was talking about the radio card, do you know what all should be included in a radio card? And then before we say that, let's let the people know what is a radio card, because we use so many different terms for it. I hear radio card, Radio One, or what is it, EPK? I think they use, like, I guess we need to define that and then let them know what's included in that.
Now, in terms of radio car, are you referring to non-commercial, commercial, internet, or
I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't really know.
back in my day,
Uh
there was
huh.
these radio cards and what have you.
Okay.
If you had some music, or there was CD, DVD, of course VHS. I'm dating back in those days. If you bought the music, you would give it to a program director, or you give it to a music director for them to stream. or to spot, as we used to call it, spot your music, find out if it's radio quality, radio ready. You know,
Okay.
the question. I mean, obviously, who's the uh, some of the group members, so forth.
Okay. So what should be included in a radio card? Or highway, whether it's non-commercial or commercial, like I know that there's different type of codes, a picture, mp3, maybe a wave file, like what all, because I know I had saw a list and it was like 13 different items that need to be included. Do you know those things off the top of your head?
Saying it depends on the station. It depends on what they're asking for in terms of non-commercial, commercial, internet. Us here at radio, we really don't require that. We require to make sure that music is the music, um, uh, stuff together. The artist, uh, and it's quality sound. That's typically what we now. As far as streamlining our music, again, our program director, our boss, he allows me and several of my staff to play music that we think the people want to hear, whether it's here in this market in Little Rock or all across America.
Okay.
But
Now, with
go
the
ahead.
quality sound, what do we okay, so how do we consider a quality sound? Because sometimes a quality sound could be just, to us, the market, we just think like, okay, it sounds good. But to the radio announcers that's playing it over the air, is there a certain type of quality that you guys are listening for? Like, or is there like, I mean, like if there is a measurement of, because I know me, I do flyers and websites and stuff like that. And majority of the time they say, oh, it needs to be 360 pixels. It got to be 360. And what that means is like it needs to be so many dots within a little square, long story. But anyway, that means that it will give it a higher quality of a picture. So do you guys have anything that you measure a sound by to consider it quality? Because sometimes in the studio we think it be sounding quality, but it really just don't. So is it just up to you guys, or is it something that you measure it by?
It is up to us, and a lot of we've got our state. We've kind of got the CD. Uh, you use a lot now with Spotify, YouTube, pretty much all the media outlets. But as far as the deep diving that you're referring to, no, we don't.
Mhm.
We don't. At least we don't. Now you may some of your commercial stations might do that.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now with what is the difference now? So it's internet radio and terrestrial radio. And if anyone don't know what I'm saying, terrestrial radio is like the radio you hear in your car or your radio dial type thing. Um, what is the difference between an internet radio station and a terrestrial radio station?
Well, good thing about us with internet radio station, we can be heard all over the country, uh, all over the country, every state, in Bahamas, uh, some of these foreign countries. I mean, that's and of course your terrestrial is pretty lined up where your station can be heard, whether it's northeast, south, southeast, uh, you know, within a governing whatever your licenses can cover.
Okay.
Well,
Is it still considered like through the satellite? Is that, or what they call it, like what they call like the poles? What they call it? I don't know, not satellite, but oh God, I forgot what they call it. But I think I understand exactly what you're saying, though. I think I understand what you're saying.
because a lot of this new uh, technology that's out now. When I first through again, not heard maybe a little rusty in terms of some of this new age out here now.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but my boss, I mean, Pastor Clarence Thornton, I mean, that's what he does on a constant basis, 24/7.
Okay. Just to Gilmore would like to know, so is a internet radio station, is it 24/7, like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or is it only on certain times?
We are Joinet Radio 47.
Okay. Okay. Now, how about average average internet radio stations? Do you know that they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Do you know?
I would think on the internet, because obviously internet is internet based. So yeah, I would say an internet would be on 24/7 as well. I can't promise that, but I know the ones that I network with, they're on 24/7.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. So, do internet compared to internet and terrestrial radio, do internet report their music that's been played so that a lot of the artists can get credit for it? Because I know that's a big deal right now as far as with streaming.
My boss, my program director, JC, he takes care of all. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, he does get reports, especially through Neil on with TV and radio. Yeah, those have to be reported.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Because I think I should have found the post that one of the Williams singers had stated. In fact, he had showed, I guess, his dashboard of a song that they had just posted, and it had so many streams. And he was just saying like they probably made $5. I think it was something like that. And he was like, it almost make you feel like it's not worth it because you put so much work into it. How do you feel about the new age streaming when it comes to artists? Do you think that it's worth it to upload your music to a lot of these distribution platforms such as Disco Kid and stuff like that? Like, do you really think that that's helping the artists? And do you think that it could be hurting the music industry as a whole?
Good question. I think in my opinion, I think it's hurting artists most. Best thing, indie artists, traditional artists, the best thing for her or them to is to latch on to a radio announcer and make sure that they're in whatever market they may be in, and that so they can get their music played, so that music can be streamlined, it can be critiqued, it can be critiqued, and to see where the music falls within that particular market. Every song doesn't fit every market, and every market doesn't fit every song. So we have program directors, music directors to make sure. And I said JC not enough to, as he called, do my thing. I market along and around gospel radio to know what most people want to hear. That's why I said during the week, drive time live, I try to play a variety of music versus during the weekend, just for particularly quartet music. So to answer your
Okay.
question, I would say it's probably so because getting the airplay as a radio announcer, he or she like music, they think is up to par, they think it's ready, then it's going to be played more often.
Gotcha. Because to be honest, I tell people all the time. I know it was. Well, let me just say this. I know it was a huge discussion concerning a top 10 list that was put out as far as quartet music, the top 10 quartet groups in the city. And a lot of people was like really upset about it, and I was like, I wasn't upset about it at all. It's like, of course, with any poll or anything like that, top 10, top 20, it's people's opinions. And I think a lot of times that people really fail to understand that majority of the time people are just they only can speak about what they're exposed to, especially when it comes down to their region. Because, like, so I'm from East St. Louis, and if I ask someone from a group from East St. Louis, probably they can only tell you to Sean Brown, and then they might tell you Sent by God. But there have been tons and tons of groups that came before them that was really, really good, but you wasn't exposed to them. So it's like I guess it's just depending on the machine that's pushing you behind, the machine that's pushing you to put you in the forefront. Even in St. Louis, there are like a lot of people still don't know about Jewel and Converted. Like one of the baddest female groups that ever came out of St. Louis, the Bible Tones. So amazing. Angie and Restored. Man, Holly Favors, some special. It's so many groups that came out of our region that a lot of people really don't know about. So they really can't, say they can only talk about what they're exposed to. So that's why that's why I don't trip off of it, because I didn't get exposed to a lot of different quartet music until I started traveling.
Okay.
Like seriously, I did until I started traveling and started making, building relationships with people. Can you tell the people, or even the ones that's in the music industry, how important it is to build relationships? Because sometimes us quartetters, we only go to concerts when we're on the ticket. Sorry to say that. We only go to concerts when we're on the ticket. But can you let them know how important it is not only to build relationships with other quartetters, but how important it is to build relationship with the local radio stations outside of your traditional area?
Another good question. Uh, it is very important success for you uh,
Yeah.
to make sure that you're getting exposed. Make
Mm,
sure of your material, your business cards. Make sure that some MP3. Send those to any station if they welcome that. Send it to any program director. But yeah, you want to be seen at concerts. You want to make sure that all the principals of your group is there. Your program director, your lead singer, your background, your band, your musicians. You want to make sure everybody's in the house because
yeah,
obviously, when they think of your name, when they think of your group, that's the image it's going to be portrayed. So it's
yeah. And and I think and I'm gonna be honest, like I get approached a lot to manage groups, and because I know my plate is so full, that I feel, me personally, I'm just gonna be honest, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do anyone justice right now in this chapter of my life, because my plate is extremely, extremely full. Even though I know, I feel like I could be very, I feel like I could be successful, but I just don't want to overload myself. And I think that even when groups go out of town, or when they go to different cities that they haven't been to, I think that they should still take a radio package to the
right.
to the radio stations, and just introduce themselves, or what I'm saying, because let's be honest, how many emails do you guys get per day with new music that's been serviced by I know that's been serviced by service, companies, because there's companies that service people music, and they push their music to different radio stations across the country. But how many emails do you guys get per day or per week?
I can't tell you how many. I'm not
Wow.
on the station, but me personally. A matter of fact, one of the artists called me prior to this interview, so I can't tell you the many we get. I mean, and that's real talk. I really can't, and I know my boss can't. We come.
Is that many?
Yeah, it is. To be honest with you, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, because I know my friend. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, I do me personally. I do a lot of networking. I
Yeah.
do a lot out in the public. I do a lot of putting court artists, choir. So hoping that I'm giving up the station back some dividends on what I'm actually out in the market doing myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because my friend Lynn White, she's in the Chicago area in Illinois up north. And I remember, like, she used to tell me all the time, she said, I get hundreds, even close to thousands of emails per week, per month, with new music. Like, it's crazy. And my thing is, I know you don't pick out the music, like you said, your station manager does that. But my question is, how do you know which one to pick? Like, out of all that music, how do you know? Like, you just go through your email and it's just a lottery? Like, it's crazy. Or you just pick out what's familiar, like you see a service and radio say, like, I really be wondering, like, how do you know who to pick out? Because it's crazy.
Well, you know, you have to kind of do your homework in the
Okay.
industry.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I listen to uh, I listen to, of course, other stations. And I listen to announcers that's been around as long as I have, and I listen to what they don't play, the feedback that they get in terms of from audience, and of course, homework in terms of what's the audience, the consumer now is buying. So yeah, you have to do your homework.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, because I would not want a radio station job. I just no, I don't desire that. I don't desire that. Huh?
I said, oh, not really.
Do not. Because I just feel like it's such a hard job. I really do. I feel like it's a really, really hard job to shuffle through all the music. Like, oh, it just seemed like it's a lot. It seemed like it's a lot, a huge responsibility, because you could be the one that either make or break a group. Seriously.
Yeah, it is that. It is that. But here again, you have to stay prayed up for
Yeah.
everything you do from every show on the weekday, weekend. I stay prayed up. Ask the Lord to give what to play, when to play it, how to play it, what to say, what to say. It's all spiritually driven. I mean, I don't want to sound like some big preacher, but I mean,
No,
it's all it's
I
all
get
about
it.
it's all about the ministry, and because as they say, the heart is the heart. If you just
Yeah.
something and putting it out there, I mean, that's typically what it's going to receive. Versus if you're feeling something, somebody else is probably going to feel that same thing. Because as you said, a lot of people's plates is full. A lot of people are going through so much in this day and time. So what works at one station or one market may not at another station or another market, and what works for one announcer may not work for another announcer. So that person, he or she, has to stay prayed up.
True. That is so true. Hey, Sean Brown. That's my cousin on here. Hey, Justin Luster. Casey Moore. I see all the quartet industry, quartet artists that's logging on. And I pray that we're answering some of you guys' questions and stuff like that because this is so interesting. I love this type of talk because, I talk quartet like it's ESPN Sports Center. I don't care. I love it. I just love it. I do. I love it. Like I study it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just my pastime, but I really do love it. Sean Brown said, "We love you, sir." And
Sir.
also Justin, he said, "Thank you, Robert Craig, for playing our music." And man, I'm telling you, I
Uh-oh.
think people forget about the radio angels that's pushing their music.
Yeah. Well, those two in particular, right there, those some good friends of mine. Pastor
Oh,
Don Brown, of course, Justin Luster, a humble son, some good guys. Good guys. So
yeah.
both.
Oh, I love you too, Justin. But back to what we were saying. I don't want to get distracted because I got so many questions, as y'all see. I don't write my questions down unless I'm unfamiliar with a subject. But this right here, oh baby, it's flowing. Do you hear me? Baby, I got so many questions for you. I just pray that, listen, because I don't want to be on here too long. I try not to wear people patience out because I will ask a million questions. I promise you I will.
Uh,
But
you know, I'm rusty on this 2023, the Landra, uh,
mhm.
uh, the most have now, because I'm old school. I just try to treat people like I want to be treated. Uh, they want to hear. I try to, give them something that if they're going through, play something that will minister to them. You know, that's my whole motive. I mean, whether it's quartet, whether it's indie artists, whether it's choir, whether it's soloists, give the people what they want. And I'm just
Yeah,
grateful to be working for a young man that allows me to do that. Hey, he constantly tells me, "You thing." So
that's awesome though.
I'm grateful to Pastor Clarence Thornton and Pastor Moss and of course Pastor Arthur Hunt and to all of our principals at our station. I'm just grateful for the opportunity. Of course, Mr. Rizal Aaron, give a shout out to all these gentlemen for allowing me to do what I do every night, even on the weekends. I'm grateful to them. I really
Yeah,
am.
yeah. That's awesome because a lot of times, some people I've heard their program managers, they kind of hold the iron claw over their radio announcers and tell them that, what they can play, what they can't play. So you are really in a blessed position that you can go as God leads you, because a lot of radio stations, it's all, it is what it is, but whatever. But 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 let me ask you this. I would like to, and I think the ones that's on here would love to know the answer to this also. Do you think that in 2023, where we're in a time of information, whatever you want to know, it is Google. You can Google anything or ask Siri, they will give you the answer. So I think compared to 20, 30 years ago, we felt like record labels was necessary, right? We felt like it was necessary in order to get to where you want to be. But because we're living in a time of information, do you think that if you just put in the hard work and push yourself, that you could still make an impact in a quartet community, or do you think that it is necessary to be signed by a major radio, not radio, but a major record label? What do you think about that?
Well, to answer your question, personally, I think if you're in the hard work and it's driven by the Lord, you can make it. You know, matter of fact, I know one artist right now that I'm really kind of working with. That's that artist. Uh, artist is putting in the work. That artist is rubbing elbows with the people that are successful in this market or in this industry, and they're blossoming, all because of their heart that they have. I mean,
Mhm.
and they ask me for, just like you. They're asking me for my opinion. They ask me what should they do, and I just told them, hey, this, and they're doing it, and they're soaring. Every time you look around, they're on this platform. They're in that program. They're opening up for this person. They're doing. They're singing behind this person. They're opening up for the Donnie McClurkins, the Pastor Shirley Caesars, the Kurt Franklins, and so forth. And I'm proud of them. Because sometimes, in the industry, egos get involved, and sometimes we can get beyond our years and thinking that we've arrived, and we really haven't. Because the Bible talks about there is a way that seems right unto a
Mhm.
man, but the end thereof is destruction. So a lot of times when sponsors, promoters, industry think we've arrived, we really haven't. You know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. So, in saying that, what do you consider? Okay, so 2023, 2022, this term came out, LOC, LOC, which means that they was basically a quartet group that is considered local, right? And then you have the groups that we consider that are the headliners as professionals. What do you consider a professional group? Because even though you might not be on every flyer that we see on the internet, does not mean you're not professional. So what do you consider the standard of a professional group?
Good question. Good question. And a matter of fact, I'm glad you asked.
Yes, sir.
In my personal opinion, as a veteran gospel radio announcer that's been around
You're
40,
better now. You're better.
like to see in terms of professionalism, one, that the artist is on time. Any program that they're coming to, they're not hanging outside. They're inside the venue. They're on time. They're not coming there high. They're not coming there smoking weed. They're not coming there with hats turned around. They're coming in with their uniforms together, and they look professional. They sound professional, and they act professional. You know,
Yeah.
Again, of the lead singers in the building, the background singers are in the building, the musicians are in the building. Everybody's in the building, and they're sitting down. They're waiting to be called up. And when they perform, they're hanging around after the program. They're not leaving outside to go out and smoke. They're not leaving outside to go home. You know, so yeah,
Okay. Yeah, because I've experienced all of it. And I think I've seen it all. I've been around since forever. I don't know if you ever remember the Mosby Singers or anything. I don't know. You might not be familiar with our area, but man, I've been knowing Quartet all like I was born into this, so I didn't have a choice. But but so that means I've seen everything that you're saying. But I think the issue is that when you do have a group or a group that's coming up that really try to live above the standard and try to do those things, it seems like a lot of times people don't want to book you because they think you're arrogant or they think you more than what you are. You know what I'm saying? So I see a lot of groups will come down on their standard or who they are just to get booked. Like people might not get what I'm saying, but if you're in the industry and you've been around, you know exactly what I'm saying. That you really do try to live by that standard. It really takes a discipline and a strong mind to keep that standard up and be mature enough not to really let a lot of stuff what people say bother you. I'm gonna be honest with you. My bros, I love every last one of them, sent by God. People might think that they might be like arrogant or they don't say no. They're smart and intelligent. Like I'm just gonna be honest with you. They really are smart and intelligent young men, and it's like they know what they want, and it's like you could tell they really don't let anybody kind of deter them. And I think that's why they're seeing so much success in this time, this chapter of their life. But I mean, if you would be able to give a positive word to the upcoming quartet groups, male and female, like what positive word would you tell them to keep the standard up and to keep striving to be professional? Like, what word would you give them?
Uh, the best advice I would give them is to be humble.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that would be my best advice is to be humble. Pray. Whatever song you sang is on
Mm-hmm.
God, the
Mm-hmm.
master. Because when it gets to be about you, that's when you're beginning. But if you make it about Him, uh, that He will exalt you in due season. But you have to keep yourself humble. But then
That's
if
good.
you, but he that makes himself high, they
He'll
shall
make progress.
support bring them down.
That's true. That's good.
Stay humble. Uh, People like you want to be treated. Get out, get yourself exposed. Network with people, network with counselors, network with promoters. Get to know folks. Let them get to know you. But at the
Mm,
same time, make sure that you know the Lord. Make sure you have a personal relationship with the Lord.
yeah. Yeah. And you know what? And I'm glad you spoke about humility because I think that's what has been a great downfall in quartet. That I know that we say competition is good to a certain degree. Iron do sharpen iron. I do get that. I understand it. But what do you think about the term that has been used so loosely about busting a house? Like, because I think that goes against humility. And I think that we take God out of it when our main focus is to bust a house. So I want to know, how do you feel about that terminology that has been thrown around a lot in quartet?
Well, it's a slang. It's a
It is.
jargon that the industry is, uh, you know, um, beyond. I think it takes you from the ministry standpoint because obviously, if you're in ministry, you're not quote unquote trying to bust a house. You're trying to make sure that someone that may be listening to you or listening to your song, if they don't know the Lord within the pardon of their sins, then you want to make sure that at the end of your song, if it's something that you may say or do within your song or within your presentation that will compel them to accept Christ as their personal savior.
Gotcha.
That's
Gotcha.
that's what that they should be concentrating on.
Let me tell you, I could talk like this all night, Greg. I promise you, it does not bother me. And I'm serious. And maybe because I grew up like watching sports and stuff, like basketball and football and baseball. So everything, I compare everything to sports. I'm sorry. I compare everything to sports. But I love talking, like, I love this dialogue. I
Did
love
you play?
it. And I did. Do you know I had more scholarship money? then the valedictorian in basketball. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay.
I did. I
Okay.
was pretty good at basketball. But people
Okay.
always talk about how tall I am. People wouldn't believe me if I tell them I was this tall when I was 12. Even this right all my life.
Okay.
And I thank the Lord that He did not allow me to grow anymore because this is stupid. I'm just saying. I am so glad that He just, yeah, I am so glad that I did not get taller than what I am because I'm like 6'1", 6'2" with heels on. So
I
I'm
got
good.
you.
Yeah.
I
But
got you.
anyway, back to what we were saying. I get so distracted. Virgin said, shout out to Sent by God. They helped me out when I came to sing in Arkansas. A good group of guys. They really are. And I think that one of the biggest issues that I think one of the biggest issues that we see in the music, especially the gospel industry, and not just quartet, I think it have been egotistic, if I want to use, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all about our ego. It's like we almost kind of forget about the souls. I had an interview with Skylar Patterson a couple of months ago, and I was talking about at the Quartet Bash 8 that's held in Chicago every year. And I'm sorry, I'm laughing at my inbox. And how I know all of Skylar's songs because I have a CD, right? And I know, and I'm gonna be honest, I think I have got to the point that I kind of study groups that I almost know I can call what song they're gonna do next.
Mhm.
Seriously, like I almost got to the point that I didn't really study and listen to, like even if I'm not in there in person, I still look at the videos and I can be like, yep, the song next. Yep, they finna go here. But one thing I could commend Skylar is that they were singing and the Spirit of God came in. Like it
Mhm.
came in. And instead of him going to probably the next song that he really wanted to go to, he really allowed God to minister to the people, right? Which, let's be honest, that is not something that happens all the time, right? It doesn't happen all the time because we get so full of, man, we got this song, we're gonna sing this song right now, we practice this song, we rehearse this song. Can you tell the people or the ones that's on here now, can you tell them or explain to them how important it really is to be led by God, not only on your recording but when you're ministering in public or on a platform, and how you should present yourself and present God?
Well, it's so important. Matter of fact, it's vitally important to the
Yeah.
success of your ministry. And that you take Christ out of anything that you're doing, uh, for him, you, you're headed for disaster. You know? So yeah, very important. It's very important in terms of your image. Obviously, you want your image to be centered around Christ, not around you. Because to be honest with you, it's not about us. It's all about Christ. You know, as a matter of fact, Apostle Paul talked about follow Christ, follow him as he follows Christ. He didn't make it about himself, and that's
Yeah.
a lot of this day and time, boss lady. That's what the industry's gotten so much of. I mean, there's so many from the announcers to the promoters to the group themselves. There's so much ego that's involved to where sometimes they can't even think straight. There's so much politics that goes on. There's so much crap bucket that goes on. There's so much hating that goes on. There's so much backstabbing that goes on. But yet and still, we say we serving Christ,
Yeah.
and it's about not so, because it's gonna come a time to where at that last day, many gonna come. Lord, we did this. Lord, we can't. We did this. He said, you didn't do that for me. You did
Right.
that to be.
And I'm going to switch just a little bit because I think this is a very, 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 very important. And I pray that Justin and Casey, Tim, all of you guys that's on here, I really pray that you guys listen to this question and listen to the answer, right? The question that I have for you: how important is it your presence on social media, your personal life, compared to what you try to post on your page, like your group page? Because some people just feel like, oh, I just post that on my group page, all our content. But can you tell them how important it is to what you post on your personal page when you are a gospel artist? And also, do you guys actually look at those things? Like radio announcers are the ones that you deal with and talk to. Do they really go on a lot of these quartet artists' personal page and to see what type of people they are? Like, do that even come in the mix at all?
Uh, yes, big time,
Whoa, y'all do for real?
big time. I mean,
Shut
I,
up.
it's not we
Y'all
trying to not
do.
yeah, not trying to be nosy rosy. It's just
Yeah,
that there's an image that not only you as an announcer, there's an image that as any artist should want to portray. If you say that you sing gospel, your life needs to back that up. If you say that you're a gospel radio announcer, that needs to be backed up. I mean, how do I look? Say I'm playing. Not that I'm not hating on any other genre of music, but if I'm a announcer, that's what I need to be playing gospel music. You know,
oh wow.
get me wrong. I love all walks of music. I mean, I like Jagged Edge. I like Drew Hill. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Come
I
on
like
now, Jacket.
I love all. I'm plugging them guys, but hey, I love all. I do love all walks of music. Of course, now my heart is in gospel music and in quartet music. That's my heart.
Wow, Loud Shumpert, which is the radio station owner, I think it's 106.9 in Chicago. He said, "Stop it because it can hurt them more than anything. It speaks about the group integrity or the person." And I think a lot of these artists don't realize how important it is how you portray yourself outside of the group. Like, we watching.
To be honest, I don't think a lot of them uh, feel as though it's going to get exposed.
Oh
I
wow.
feel like if they can throw a rock and hide their hand, then with that, them themselves, but at some point in time, Mama used to can fool some of the folks, but you can't fool all of them all the time. See,
Right.
yeah,
Wow. I am so shocked. Like, I really asked that question because I always, you hear people be like, you shouldn't put that on your Facebook page. You shouldn't put that on your social media page because people be watching and they judging you. And, that could make a difference between if they want to bring you to their city. And yeah, so y'all heard it here. These radio
I mean,
stations be watching my Facebook page.
if I'm gonna bring you to my city, yeah, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna find out what's happening about with you. I am
And
because
mhm,
that's an image on me as a promoter.
that's true. And you know what? That is a great point because even the scripture tells us that we should know them that labor amongst us.
Right.
We really should know them. We should not just, oh, you got a song that I love, and everybody love this song, and I believe that you're gonna bring Phil put butts in the seats. I love when Paul Dorsey said it. He was like, they put butts in the seats. It's like I think that if we can really get back to the point of bringing the integrity back into Quartet, because over time, I think Quartet has lost its integrity because of what we was doing outside of the stage. Now, let me say this: Quartet singers are the baddest singers on this earth, to me personally. Like, they quartet singers can adjust to from 5 people to 5,000 people. Quartet singers are very, I don't want to use the word emotional, but possibly just more spiritual to me. I love quartet music. I just think that the integrity has just been challenged outside of the stage.
Agree. I agree.
Yeah, I think it has just been challenged outside of the stage. But even in saying that, during the COVID time, have you seen a difference in the music since COVID? Or has there been an increase in music, or has there been a decrease? Or have you felt like it's pretty much the same because COVID changed the way that we see life altogether? So, do you think COVID really affected Quartet, or did it help it?
I think it affected it. Matter of fact, the promoters that I talk with, a lot of
Mm,
their programs are short, and I think
okay,
the live one live has had a lot to do with it as well.
okay.
Back in you could you could do is come and let the program out, but now you can sit at your living room, sit back, and just hit the click on live, watch anything else where someone else is paying 10, 20, and 35, $50 to go to that same program you watching at your house for free. So yeah, COVID had a lot to have done with it, but I think artists a lot when we're coming to programs and supporting them. We'll support them with our mouth, but we won't support them with our pocketbook.
Yeah,
You know.
because so today I was on Clubhouse and I was on the platform with Harold T, and they made a very great, very, very, very great point that a lot of quartet singers are going over to Southern Soul, and I am not to crucify anybody for whatever decisions they decide to make. That's between them and the God that they serve. So I don't really try to say anything about it. But on the flip side of it makes me wonder, like the same quartet singers that possibly go from city to city for maybe $1,500, $700, sometimes free. These are the same artists that singing like Southern Soul and getting like $5,000, $6,000.
Mhm.
And it's like why we as the church or we as concert goers, like why we're not supporting our local groups, you know what I'm saying? Like to me it's just weird, and we complain about everything, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to our quartetters. But it's like, I guess the question is, it's like, what can we do as a quartet community to support our quartet groups more?
Well, I think if it's a two to me, it's twofold. I think if the quartetters themselves would live up to the standards that they sing about, that they talk about, the community base would come back to support them.
Wow.
The, if the community base themselves would stop hating, if the community themselves would stop trying to be as people that look like you and I would stop crab bucket mentality individuals and support one another more so than to hate, dog one another out. I mean,
Yeah.
from radio industry to the quartet programs themselves, if we would cut a lot of that out, we could come together more so than what we are now. But we're so divided now to where we're like, as the old folks used to say, we're like crabs in the bucket. If I'm not, if you're going to the top, I'm going to try all I can to bring you down, and vice versa. If I'm going to the top, you're going to try all you can to bring, and we'll never get anywhere doing that.
Where do you think that came from, though? Like, you've been in this thing for over 40 years. And probably before you actually started radio, I'm quite sure you've been around. Where did all of this come from? Like, it's
We
weird to me.
we lost our focus. Our
Okay.
focus came off. Seems like that we obtained materialistically. The more our took our focus, we kind of did like Peter. We took our eyes off the Lord. And anytime you take your eyes off the Lord, you are going to fall. But if you keep your eyes
Gotcha.
on the Lord and continue to pray and let Him lead and guide you, you'll be successful if your heart's in the right. That's why one of the Beatitudes said, "Only the pure in heart shall see God."
Mhm.
But now we're as you said earlier, we're trying to bust houses. We're trying to see how many butts we can put in the seats and all that, and it ain't about that. And but now more so, we're trying to knock one another down. If I got a program going on this night, I'm gonna put the same program going on 10, 20 miles down the road, and we'll say that, oh, I'm not trying to take your crowd, but all in at the same time, yeah, I am trying to take your crowd.
Yeah.
And as long as we continue those things, we're never going to be successful in this industry. We
Yeah.
always divided, we're going to be separated, we're always going to be apart. But until we come back together until we realize that I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's
Yeah.
army.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And what do you think about groups collabing with one another to make things happen? Because I think that I really do believe that it has been a tremendous work of the enemy to cause us to be divided and to feel like we was working against each other when really we working on the same team. But I understand the competition of it all and wanting to be better. You know what I'm saying? What do you feel about, or what advice would you give upcoming artists that just haven't got their big break yet? And sometimes the finances is not there and the traveling. Like, what advice would you give some groups that to collab with other groups to make things, to get some things accomplished? Do you think that's a good idea to collab with other groups, or do you think it's better to keep it separate?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're up and or even if you're up and coming, or if you're not, real big stickler when it comes to putting your faith and trust in an Almighty God.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if you local, regardless of you a major, regardless if you national, if God is not in whatever you singing about or whatever you are writing about, it won't work. So
Yeah.
advice to them, it would be, hey, make sure that you pray and pray hard. As Paul told Timothy, study to show yourself approved. Workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly divide the truth. Make sure that if you're a coming group, make sure you pray and ask the Lord for his discernment of who's good to hang around, who's not good. The Lord will give you a discernment as to who to network with and who not to network with.
That's true.
When you come to programs, make sure you got your attire together. Make sure that your shirt's not hanging all out, your pants hanging down, your shoes turned around backwards. Make sure that
That's so true though, because man, I got turned off from a group uh not too long ago that I wanted to bring to St. Louis. I love their music, but I just saw how they look, and it was a turn off for me. You know,
you my
I was
point is
sorry. It was a huge turn off because I was like, y'all, I'm paying you to come here, right? You know what I'm saying? Like at least put an iron on that shirt, like. I don't know. Maybe I'm still traditional, and I get it. I know a lot of young people. It's just they're not into that. But like, you have to remember who your market is.
right.
You got to remember who your market is, and if they invite you one time, you better hope they invite you again.
Make
So go ahead, cut up a cloud if you want to. This time, I will not invite you back.
right.
Because like I don't know how many times I brought Unity Attune to St. Louis. When I tell you Unity Attune, man, I know Pastor Johnson. Baby, listen, Unity Attune, they had it together.
Yeah. That group is one of my personal favorites. Yeah, love.
Yes. They have it together. And I love it. Like seriously, I love it. And they always say the best customer is a repeated customer. And I
Right.
think a lot of groups don't realize that you have to put your best foot forward. Pastor Craig, I called you Pastor Craig. Craig, Deacon Craig, I have really, 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 really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you.
I really have enjoyed this. Now, listen, y'all, I'm going to get Pastor Deacon Craig 5 more minutes, y'all. I am so sorry. Deacon
You good?
Craig, 5 more minutes. Hey, Latanja, that's one of my girlfriends from St. Louis. She always tune in, and I thank God for it. First impression is everything, absolutely, because they don't realize that I see you before I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see you before I hear you. And I told my kids that I was like, man, like when you go somewhere, look nice. I don't care what the culture is doing. At the end of the day, look decent. Look like you want to be like look like where you want to go.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And I
Right.
think that's where a lot of folks is just be tripping. But listen, y'all, if you guys had did someone say unity? Yes, Casey. But if you guys have any questions, listen, I'm giving y'all 4 minutes. Cause I didn't woe this man out tonight. I know I Oh, I am so sorry, but I just love talking quartet. Like I really want to do a round table of talking quartet with some people of the industry. I would love to like have a radio announcer, a radio promoter. I would love to have a manager. I would love to have someone that's been in the quartet game for a long time, and we sit at a round table and just talk.
Right.
Like I
Right.
would love that, like the quartet circle.
Oh,
Oh, the Quartet Corner and the Quartet Circle. I might be onto something.
yeah. Get that together. Let me know.
Man, Craig, you're gonna have to do it with us, Craig. I'm gonna have to think
Let,
about that. What y'all think about that?
let me know. I'll be honored.
That would be cool.
That,
Oh wow. Justin Gilmore said you want to look presentable when you go places. You are representing yourself and your family and community, and I think people forget about that.
he's right.
Yeah. Lyle Shumpert from Chicago would like to know what's your information. So if anyone would like to get in contact with you, Elder Deacon Craig, where would they contact you? Your telephone number or your email address or your social media handles?
All of the above. Of course, my and I don't mind it. My personal cell is 501 951 4348. My email address is bbqman 4348 at gmail.com. Of course, I'm on social media with Robert Craig. Of course, my show is on Drive Time Live at joynetradio.com. And I'm on weekdays from 4 until 7. I'm on live after 5:30. I'm on the weekends at 1 p.m. with Quartet Corner with the very best in local, state, and national quartet music and a variety of choir soloists.
Baby, he professional. Because people be asking me, I be like, I think it's Quartet Corner. I be like, I don't remember. See, you could tell that I'm a newbie on the block and he is a veteran.
You ought to be sharing with yourself.
What?
You,
I am a newbie. Only been doing it like a year and a half. I'm a newbie.
but you can take a newbie and put him with someone that's been around a while, and you will know a newbie from a professional. For this one,
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I really
you
do appreciate it. But I sit and watch you guys all the time. I'm serious. I sit and watch you and Burgess. Who else? I cannot remember that lady name. She sing quartet, and she have like this blonde hair. Oh, what is her name? She
Bailey,
comes Sunday mornings, huh?
Ciola Bailey.
That's her. I watch her.
Yeah,
Like she might not know, but I do.
yeah, she's in this market.
Yeah, yeah.
She,
What is that? I'm sick of them in these comments. Latanja. Hi, Gerald Tyson. Gerald Tyson say, hello, Dr. Robert Craig. You know how he is. Hey, look, we call him JJTT. Hey, JJTT. Thank you so much for logging on. But we're about to log off. But before we log off, listen, man, we did not get a chance to talk about the Boss Awards that's coming up the fourth Sunday.
yeah, yeah.
I know. I'm so excited, you guys, because this is the inaugural year of the Boss Awards, where Mr. Robert Craig will be coming all the way from Little Rock, Arkansas, to be a presenter of an award. Not sure which award, but since he's so prestigious, I think I might have him do an extended version because we are honoring some lifetime achievements, some appreciations. We also have 10 categories. We're also doing a memorial. In fact, man, James Wafer passed today.
Oh wow,
Yes.
I know that.
Man, James Wafer, he's a part of the Gospel Music Hall of Fame from St. Louis. Man, I didn't think about it, but yeah, he passed early this morning. And man, and when I tell you, every time I had a conversation with him, he was so encouraging. And even though as old as he would say, well, boss lady, if you need anything from it, just call me. Or or they came out with a CD. He didn't ask me to buy a CD. He said, boss lady, give me $10 for the CD. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, I have so many fond memories of Mr. James Wakefield. Awesome, awesome. Man, I'm telling you, he go back a long way. I don't know if a lot of you guys know James Wakefield, but he is a quartet legend, not only in St. Louis, but across the country. But yeah, so we're going to have a memorial video. We're going to have a lot going on to celebrate East St. Louis Quartet. And I am so excited to have Mr. Robert Craig to come and be a presenter. I just thank God that I can call some of my people and be like, hey, I need you. And people come and you love, look at you. JJTT said he loved me. You see that?
I'm not surprised.
But no, but look, but when I see him in person, he ain't gonna know who I is.
Oh, he got closed mouth, huh?
He be forgetting John Tyson. Every time I see you in person, he do not know who I am. Wow. And I said, now wait a minute, sir. I look like my pictures. Don't play with me.
Coming to your event, coming from I think it's Roseville, I think it's Rosedale, Georgia. J. Beckon Foundation. They're speaking of award. I'm honored to come down to Atlanta for him Thanksgiving, and he'll be giving yours truly an award along with many more. And I want to give a shout out to him. I want to thank him publicly for what he's doing. Didn't have to do. So I'll be leaving Georgia, coming up to your area on that Sunday afternoon, being with you.
Man, look, you my friend. Me and you would never part, Martina. Listen, that's what friends are for. I am so honored. I listen because I asked you, I was like, Craig, you sure you're gonna be able to do that? That's a lot going on. And he was like, no, I won't be there. So I appreciate that, man. I'm telling you. I appreciate that. And I don't know if many of you have ever heard of Casey and Unity. I played some of their music before the show started. Casey and Unity, listen, I am one of those promoters that will take a chance on a group like them. Mm-hmm. I know there's so many huge groups out here, but like I listen to their music. I watched them for a good year or so. It's been about a good year. I watched them. And I get hit up in my inbox a lot about bringing a group to the city. And I just don't instantly say, yeah, I'll bring you. I'll be like, okay, all right. Let me see what you got. You know what I'm saying? I listen to their content. I listen to their lives. You know what I'm saying? And then like we was just saying that sometimes you might have an off day and you might say something crazy on your page will cause me to look at you kind of strange and be like,
there you go.
Yeah, because you know, when you bring somebody to your city, they represent you.
Bingo. Bingo. Yep. I wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Elder Barnes. Okay, we've been log off in about a couple of hours. Give me 6 more minutes. I am so sorry. I have never been on here this long, but
well, I'm honored so much. I'm honored. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm reading these comments. Gerald Tyson says, so sorry. I see so many people. You know I love you. All right, Jay. All right, Gerald Tyson. Let me stop. Let me stop. Because Gerald Tyson, boy, he be making me so bad every time I see him. I mean, he be loking me out. That's what he be doing. He be loking me. Mm-hmm.
It's a national.
You say what?
National promoter.
National promoter, Gerald Tyson. And Latanja, I'm whooping your tail when I get off this live. And anyway, sing your music also to Chicago. He would love to play your music. Okay. No one had any questions. I was waiting on some questions, and that's why I was doing the talking to Tanja, because I was waiting on people to put in questions, but they didn't. So, oh well, I guess we covered everything. She said, wait a minute. She talks and talks and talks and talks. Oh my God. Okay, Gerald Tyson. Gerald Tyson said, I don't mind coming on your program. Okay, it's the 4th Sunday and we're in St. Louis. So you got my telephone number, Gerald Tyson. So if you want to know some information, hit your girl up. But anyway. All right. Any last words? Deacon Robert Craig. Any last words from you?
Boss lady, it's truly been an honor uh, to be with you. I thank you so very much for this opportunity. Thank you for this platform. I certainly wish Godspeed to you, to all you, all your endeavors. Look forward to working with you going for the part of this year, going into 2024. If there's anything that I can do for you on either of my shows, Drive Time Live or Quartet Corner, reach out to me. Of course, you have my number as well. I'll
I
be
do.
I'll be help you more than happy to.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you being so patient and answering all of my 100 questions. I don't think I've never asked anyone so many questions, but
I'm honored. I'm honored.
yeah, I think it was questions that needed to be answered, though.
Hope I answered them to the best of my ability. I really did. I hope I helped you and your audience. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone enjoyed it. Everyone saying it was a great interview, great conversation, great dialogue. Yeah, I do talk a lot. I try not to talk about the wrong things, but I feel like it's nothing wrong with talking a lot as long as you're talking about the right stuff and not about other folks.
Oh, there you go. That's your personality. You can't have it.
I
That-
can't help it. I just can't help it. But you get me on the subject that I love, baby. Oh, it's on from there. And this is one of my favorite. And why is my little friend saying? And she's still talking. I'm gonna kick you out my line, Tanya. You can stop playing with me, Tanya. But that's my friend. Listen, that's my friend that then survived cancer twice.
Okay.
I'm so proud of her, and I love what God is doing in her life. And anybody that know me personally know that I'm not a phone person, that I don't call everybody, but they know I love them. I just don't talk on the phone all the time. But yeah, uh, I just love her to pieces. So I guess that's it. Thank you so much, and
Pleasure's
appreciate
welcome.
you. And I can't wait to see you fourth Sunday of this
Yes.
month.
Now, what time you starting?
5 o'clock.
And now, y'all on the East Coast, Central? What are y'all out there?
Central Standard Time. We're not on the same time as you.
Well, I'm on Central here, but again, I'm coming out of Georgia, so I want to make sure that you know, I'm right.
I never had, it's crazy. I got friends kind of everywhere now, like people that I talk to. And I didn't got to the point that I'm pretty good at knowing what time zone people would be in. Like when people call me, I'd be like, oh, you like 2 hours behind me. I like to me, I love it. Like, like I know who to call at a certain time. Like the Carolinas, I know they're an hour ahead of us. But Atlanta, I want to say Atlanta is on the same time zone as us. I think they Central Standard Time.
Oh, really? Okay, okay.
I think so. I think. But oh well. All right, Elder Craig, Deacon Craig. I'm going to see you November 26th at 5 o'clock. Make sure you be there because my bros DL and Bam from Kansas City, Missouri will be doing the red carpet.
Boss lady, I look forward to it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. She said, wait a minute, she said ATL is an hour ahead of us. Is it?
I thought they were.
I thought that was the same as us.
Last time I was in Atlanta.
No, they are. Yeah, they are. They are. They are. You're right. They are an hour ahead of us. Because when I talked to Jay Big, yeah, they are an hour ahead of us. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm done, and I'm tired of talking too. So, thank you so much, Pastor Elder Craig. I love you much. Love you much. Love you much. I'll see you at the end of this month.
We'll see you.
Oh my God, y'all. Wasn't it awesome? Let me get this fly down. Oh my God, that was so freaking awesome. And I'm tired. I really am. I'm tired, but it's a good tired. Like, I really, really enjoyed picking his brain. Like, I love that. Like, someone to be honest. And I think he really came from a spiritual side that we don't see or hear very much in our genre of music. I think it's something that a lot of the younger quartetters needed to hear to remember that you still need to include God in everything that you do. Because I've learned that if you start right, you end right. You know what I'm saying? And if your intentions are not pure, it will be exposed whether it's in your speech or in your actions, right? So you have to make sure that you're doing it for the right reason. And people say, I don't think it's a scripture, but we always hear that, well, only what you do for Christ will last, right? But that's about it. Do your jaws hurt? Let me stop. Yes, they do. And I got your nephew here, Drew, so I gotta go get him. So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I want to let us finish watching KC and Unity, which is going to be the special guest for the Boss Awards that will be held November 26th at 5 o'clock. If you would like to get a ticket, or if you would like to donate some tickets, hit your girl up in the inbox, because people that can come, they love to donate tickets for people that can come and just can't afford it. Let's just be honest. And I know people that would love to come, but they really just can't afford it. And I'm gonna be honest, usually I try to hold any concert I have at the beginning of the month, because I know people can't afford it a lot of the times because of their circumstances or whatever. But this is at the end of the month, and sometimes it's not what we want it to be. Am I invited? Girl, if you don't go somewhere. Thank you so much, Gerald Tyson. I'm trying to do a good job. I really am striving to do what's right and to keep a clean platform. That's just me. I'm trying my best to keep a clean platform. Sometimes clean platforms don't get you the numbers that you want, but if it blesses one out of whatever, I think that the purpose was done. So it is what it is. So, all right, you guys. I love you. I talk to you guys later. That's all. Make sure you guys tune in Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to have Little Harry up. Little Harry is going to be our special guest. He's going to be another presenter from Chicago at the Boss Awards. So make sure you guys tune in. We're going to talk to Little Harry about his recent trip to Japan, his ministry trip, also about the groups that he has coming out of Chicago that's busing houses. I know we just talked about that, but they busting houses. Little Harry has been in the quartet arena for a very long time, and he comes with such high energy, but he's such a humble young man, and he is one of my personal friends. So yeah, make sure you guys tune in. I will be posting a flyer, and I will see you guys Wednesday. Love you guys. Talk to you later.
Listen, it get hard sometimes. Gotta drink tears to Anybody ever had your back up against the wall? You didn't know how you're gonna make it through. Seemed like every time you turn around, you had more bills than money. You had more hurt and pain. Had more hate than love. Keep on resting in my mind, trying to figure things out. Don't know what to do, don't know where to go, don't know what to say. All I know is I need a little bit of help. All I know is I need a little bit of help. I can't get the help from mom. I can't get the help from daddy. I can't get it from you. But I gotta lean on the Lord. Gotta lean on the Lord. He said trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not to thy own understanding, but in all thy ways. Set it all thy ways, all thy ways. Acknowledge him and he shall and I keep on. Listen, the wrestling in my mind, he said, be not conformed to the ways of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You gotta get those folks up around you and say you'll never be nothing. You gotta get those folks up around you and say you'll never go nowhere. You gotta get those folks up around you and say you'll never amount to anything. But I gotta be right. I gotta be right. I gotta be right. Yes. Keep on running. Come on, hit me and encourage somebody. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't give in. Press on. Press on. Until the end. Don't give up. Don't give up. Press on. Tell somebody. Press on. Press on. Till the end. Till the end. Press on. Press on. Till the end. Baby, it get hard sometimes to press on. Till the end. I need everybody in here to press on. No. Press on. Till the end. Press on. Till the end. Keep on, keep on, keep on. I'm ready to enjoy some of these other groups, amen. How you doing?